and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory. It's Thursday. It's time to get together and draw and have some fun. Fun is the job here. So please don't fail to have fun. You can fail at everything else, but try to enjoy yourself as much as you can. I plan to. And do you plan to as well?
I mean, we're always having fun.
Good. We're always having fun. It's a mandate.
We actually really are always having fun. We always have fun.
I think it's true. We do have a lot of fun. More fun than we should. Okay, so I'm Danny Gregory. This is JJ Gregory. We are the Gregorys. And Twiglet Gregory is wandering around somewhere too.
She's here.
She's here. So,
our queen.
So last week was a bit of a disaster.
Oh my goodness.
So sorry.
Sorry.
Last week we just had weird problems, technological problems.
A gremlin.
But as you could see from the beginning, a lot of you still managed to persevere to fight your way through the technological storm and create some beautiful things. I continue to keep working on my drawing. Here's where I ended up. What do you think, JJ?
I have a delay, so I can't see.
You have a delay, so you can't see it well. All right, well, trust me,
oh,
it's gorgeous.
Danny,
anyway,
it's three-dimensional. Wow.
It's three-dimensional.
That's beautiful.
Look at the gold.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I kept working, and clearly you all did too.
It's kind of weird because instead of seeing dahlias, it looks like patties.
Patties. It does kind of like that.
I mean, some people know Patty is your late wife.
She liked dahlias.
She liked flowers. She was a colorful human.
It's true. So despite it all, you all made
less
some
time to
beautiful...
broadcast, more time to work on your
your
painting.
And to be honest, that's what I did. I just kept going. I kept going without, the clamor of y'all. Y'all. See,
y'all is
y'all's
perfectly fine. Everybody can get behind y'all's, especially now that we live in Phoenix and we bought a house here.
That's true. We are now official Phoenicians, y'all. So today, this is an idea that we kind of came up with together as to what we were going to draw today. But I think we have to explain a little bit about why this is the topic.
I agree.
Okay, so just so you know, in case you want to get ready, use whatever you want today. You can use crayons, you can use markers, you can use watercolors. I'm going to be using various things, but just get whatever stuff you want to and have some paper, all right? So while you're gathering that, let me tell you what we have planned for this weekend, which is pretty exciting, which is a new workshop. It's our first big live workshop that we've done Since January.
So we got so tie-tie.
Yes.
We got tie-tie. It took us this long to get our life force back.
It's true.
But man, are we coming out the gates with excellence?
Excellence.
Mario
I hope so. Yes.
A. Robinson,
Yes.
one of the coolest people of all time.
So Mario is, I've talked about him before. I've shown you the trailer.
I mean, if you haven't signed up yet, I don't know what to say.
You better get on it because you've got till Saturday and you've got to get your stuff together.
The doors close on Friday.
The doors close on Friday.
Yep.
Saturday is the workshop, 9 o'clock Pacific PDT. And it's going to be an extraordinary workshop, not just because of the fact that it's watercolor portraiture, but it's really an opportunity to watch a guy who is really good at it. He's really good. I mean, look at this painting that's just here on the little thumbnail.
He's just cool.
He's so nice.
He's so nice.
He's nice.
Cool. We're kind of obsessed. We're a little bit, maybe have a little bit of a crush on him.
I really admire him. I don't have a crush on. I don't have crushes on people.
I find him to be very appealing.
All right. He's a great artist.
He's a great artist. He's a nice guy.
Yes.
He's an awesome teacher.
And here's David Pyle, who is also a great teacher and a great watercolorist. And David has known about Mario for a while. So, and I think He might have even taken a class with him, or maybe he's seen him teach. But in any case, he's really great. It's going to be on Saturday, school.tiny.us/Mario, which is a fancy way of saying you can go to sketchbookschool.com. Sign up. I don't think you'll regret it. You'll get a recording of it. If you can't, like Biz, be there. Well, Biz is a Spark member, and of course, Spark members all get to come to this workshop. It's going to be recorded. She'll be able to watch it later on. So, all right, so that is the plan there.
Yeah, that's the sales pitch. Now we're moving on.
Moving on to today. Today, we are going to be using bamboo paper from Hahnemühle. Bamboo, you say? How could that be? You know, when I hear the word bamboo, you think, what do you think of? Tarzan, jungle drums? You think of pandas. What else do you think of when you think of bamboo?
I mean, I think of like the cutting board that I have.
The cutting board, yeah. It's true. So bamboo is not a thing that you associate with paper.
Pandas.
But
Emily,
yes.
yeah, pandas.
Yeah, I said pandas.
Oh.
Are you watching the show?
I'm daydreaming about Mario. Sorry.
So this paper is 90% made of bamboo.
I think they have bamboo sheets.
I don't know how they make it.
Bamboo
I don't know
pillowcases.
what they do. Is it like the soft stuff? If you ever cracked open a piece of bamboo, it has like the soft stuff inside. Is it that? Is it the hard stuff outside that they rip into? I don't know what they're doing with it. But the thing about bamboo is it is very sustainable, low carbon footprint.
It's awesome.
You don't have to cut down trees to make it. And this particular paper from Hahnemühle, I really like it. I've been drawing on it. I've been watercoloring on it. I've been painting with gouache on it. It's kind of something I grab several times a week to just have fun with, because it's not quite like ordinary watercolor paper. I mean, it is. It is in the sense that it does all those things, but I really like the texture of it, which is slightly different than, say, cotton fibrous watercolor paper, which I also like. So, all right, so
we have 3 of them.
we have 3 of them to give away. If you would like one, you can just write to us. You can email us at info@sketchbookschool.com. You have to have a U.S. mailing address, and you have to include the mailing address in the email telling us where to send it. We can't upload, download, fax bamboo paper to you. We can only mail it, so we need your mailing address. But we're going to give it away to 3 people.
Someone's asking, how does it do with fountain pens? I would think you would know the answer to that.
I don't know.
It's a mixed media paper. It works
It's mixed media.
with everything, yeah.
I mean, I don't particularly. I mean, I think you can certainly use any kind of ink on it. You know, it's not the first thing that would come to mind when I think about writing with or drawing with a fountain pen, but it's perfectly fine. It's worked well. Linda has experienced it. It is good. So, there's a lot of good comments. Do you get pithy over bamboo? The old bamboo. That used to be a thing, a song, the old bamboo. It's like a thing from vaudeville, too.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so we're ready to go.
There is some info from our sponsor. I'll put it in the chat.
Well, I just vamped on it.
Oh, well.
Again, you should watch the show. It's really good, JJ. I covered all that stuff already. Anyway, so if you'd like it, email us. Tell us why you'd like it if you want. Might make you more likely to win it. I don't know. But also, if you'd like to just write to us, you can. Here's our post office box. You can do that too. I'm also going to be using this set of Winsor Newton ProMaker watercolor markers. Really like these watercolor markers. I've used them before, and we've given them away before.
Yeah.
They are very nice. They're basically, you'll see as I use them today, they kind of are watercolors, but they're in marker form. And if you have a problem with markers, like bleeding through your paper, doing various weird things you don't want, these don't, because they're watercolor. So they sit on the page nicely. And also we're going to be giving away, what is it, 1 set of those?
Oh my gosh, the people are getting impatient. What are we going to be drawing? Yes, we have 1 set of the markers. The markers are just amazing.
All right.
They have different colors.
I'm done talking about it.
Let's move on.
So here's what we're going to do. We came up with this theme today, or was it yesterday? What's the theme that we came up with, basically? Talking about bamboo, we were thinking bamboo. We're thinking...
Should we talk about how obsessed we are with the TV show Alone? I think we've talked about it before.
We do love the show Alone.
I love this show.
Basically, they drop people off in somewhere and they have to figure it out. So they have to survive with nothing. Kind of like us coming to Phoenix. So what we decided we wanted to do is we wanted to draw a Castaway scene. This is like the most kind of Bob Ross that I've been in a while, where I'm kind of going to be drawing something from my imagination. So you're going to be drawing from your imagination too. We're not drawing with reference unless you happen to be on a beach somewhere. You're going to have to make it up from your imagination. If you're stranded, if you're watching this from some desert island, great, then you can just draw what you're seeing, right? Any other thoughts about this? I mean, it was kind of your idea. So what we're going to be drawing is a bamboo hut or shack on a beach, palm trees, beach, water, I don't know, bamboo grove. What is the kind of thing that you would set up for yourself if you were stranded on a desert island and you had to kind of make do? You maybe have a machete, could be, JJ?
Yeah.
Machete. All right.
You bought a machete this week to cut down our pomegranate trees.
Yes. So I will not be using a machete in making this drawing, but that's the basic idea. Kurt to the rescue. The old bamboo was sung by Dick Van Dyke and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
No way.
That's what I was thinking of. The old bamboo. I wonder why he sang it in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang versus...
Jennifer Tidd, Are We Naked and Afraid? Is that not
always
the most horrific show ever of all time?
Kate.
Christine's bringing a basketball named Wilson.
Kate likes Tim Gunn. I gotta say, we're not going to get into that.
Oh, Kate.
But I did want to say, as you get your materials together...
And his wide tie.
We have a birthday today, Grace Afridi,
Oh my
right?
gosh, Grace, yay!
Grace,
September
happy birthday.
15th is
Congratulations.
a happy day.
B thinks of the movie Castaway in the soccer ball.
It was a volleyball.
Uh-oh. Checked. Chelson got that right. Okay, so this is what we're doing. This has been binging Survivor.
We love Survivor.
So yes, so that's what I want you to think about. That's the scene, right? Picture that scene in your mind. As I get my bamboo paper ready, as I get out my markers. So I'm going to use markers. I might use a little watercolor. I might use a little colored pencils.
Colored pencils.
Why not?
You've been thinking about colored pencils lately.
I like them colored pencils.
Yeah, you kind of gone onto like a pencil. It's like your new paradigm.
Colored pencils.
2022.
So yeah, so I'm just kind of going to make
Yeah, so we're winging this. Somebody's asking. Yeah, no reference.
No winging it. You can copy exactly what I'm doing. If I was Bob Ross, that's what you'd be doing, right? But don't. You can do whatever you want. I think I'm going to give mine a little patio. Because that's what I would do. A little place to sit.
Yeah, that's where I would go read my book.
And maybe some kind of a roof. This also makes me think of another thing that I'm really obsessed with. It's a YouTube channel called Primitive Technologies.
And when Danny says he's really obsessed,
yeah,
he's not kidding.
I really love this thing. Basically what it is this guy, he's Australian, and he goes into the bush kind of with nothing. And he builds things like bamboo shacks, and he builds all kinds of amazing stuff.
But he really explains it.
He makes...
Step by step.
But the funny thing about it is he never talks. You've never really seen these, but what he does is, I watched it for about a year until I realized that if you turn on the comments, he actually is explaining what he's doing. It's like it's all in sort of subtitles. So
that might be an intelligence test.
Yeah.
It's like the first
Eventually
suggestion you won't make it in the wild. Although, are there subtitles in the wild? I'm not sure.
Good question. All right, so I'm just going to kind of be blocking this in.
It's cute already.
Silvana loves my walk.
What?
Silvana Purges loves my walk.
Your
Maybe I
walk?
should draw a walk sometime.
A walk? Like a stir
I
fry?
think it's typo.
Oh.
Sorry, Silvana, I didn't mean to make fun of you. I think I'm going to just watercolor in some beach action.
Beach action. We have not seen an ocean in a very long time. More
Yeah.
than a year.
We used to live on one, but
Yeah, now we live in Phoenix. Oh, you're not going beach, you're going ocean.
well, I'm doing both.
I see.
This is a bit of water.
Azure.
Azure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of some clouds off on the ocean.
Oh, boldness. I wasn't expecting that.
This is going to be a bunch of steps, but this is kind of where I'm starting out.
I mean, the sky and the ocean matching, is that a thing?
Yeah.
I see.
I read recently that, you know how, you've probably always heard this, that water is clear, but it appears blue because it reflects the sky.
Yeah.
Why? I was reading this thing and it said that there's actually a little bit of blue in water.
I mean, I feel like there has to be.
But if you look at a glass of water, it doesn't appear to have any color, right?
But the ocean is not pure water. It has a lot of,
Like fish poop.
well, it has a lot of proteins, it has a lot of algae, it has a lot of stuff.
Okay.
We need one of those biologist peeps that are sometime in the audience.
That's true. It was amazing when we
We're doing the
suddenly
mobs.
had a moth
It was
expert.
like somebody doing a PhD, right? Who knows about the color of water?
All right, so this is what I'm doing right now. This is just regular watercolor, Winsor Newton watercolor. But there's going to be more going on.
Chris Seidel says it's blue because it absorbs all the other colors.
Really? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
Blue absorbs all other colors. See, if you put this marker on wet paper, let's see what happens to it. Kind of get, so this is
Wet on wet?
it is wet on wet, and this is yellow ochre I'm putting on top of. All right, so far it looks like a 7-year-old did it.
Maybe you should have had a reference photo.
This is kind of like, no, I don't need a reference photo. This is going to be a great process. It's going to take me a little bit of time, that's all. Because I'm thinking, let this dry a minute. But, because I'm kind of thinking,
Kind of thinking what?
I'm doing a
I think if there's no reference photo, you've got to voice over what you're thinking a bit more. What? Bold.
yeah.
What,
So
Danny?
I'm thinking it's kind of like you're in like a jungle.
A bamboo forest?
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking like where do you get the bamboo to make a bamboo hut from,
Cool.
right? And then I'm also thinking,
That was way bold. That was sort of shocking, honestly.
well, it'll get better.
Okay, good. That had like the boldness of a Bob Ross, where like out of nowhere
The
he does a
boldness.
thing, and you're like, "What is about to happen?" Because that just ruined the whole Jim Jam.
Unlike Bob Ross, though, I'm actually going to genuinely ruin it.
What? Oh my goodness sakes!
I know. And it's getting worse.
Is that a palm tree
It will be.
swaying in the breeze?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of what de rigueur? And it's kind of a scene.
Wow.
Yeah. It's all going on. But it's going to get better.
Anthony just said, "Happy little mistakes."
Exactly.
We said we're having fun. We are having fun.
We're having fun and we're suffering at the same time.
I think we've tickled David Pyle's science nerd fancy. He's like on a mission to make everyone understand this light refraction situation.
Good.
I knew somebody in the audience could do it. I knew we couldn't.
So, what's it called?
Alone.
No, I was thinking,
Naked and Afraid?
no, I was
Castaway?
thinking, no,
Gilligan's Island?
no, Gilligan's Island's a good one. No, I was thinking Lost,
Oh, Lost.
right?
Wow. Lost. We had a lot of love for Lost.
No love was lost on Lost. A lot of love was lost on
Yeah,
Lost.
it was confusing time.
We watched Lost at the beginning of the pandemic.
We were devoted to Lost.
But at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, you know what? We might as well watch Lost because things are getting weird.
Well, we wondered if the plane we had been on
Right.
from New York City to our vacation in Palm Springs, did it, well, I mean,
Was it all a
in
giant
case no one,
Was it a simulation?
well, were people here intending to watch Lost and they haven't gotten around to it yet? But
So you're afraid you're going to...
a spoiler.
Spoiler them?
I'll spoil it for you. The plane crashes. They didn't get there.
I forgot about that part. It took 7 years to find that out, though. So if you're planning to binge it, you'll have forgotten that by the time you get to the end.
It's many layers of the onion in Lost. Many layers of the bamboo.
See how this watercolor is getting away from me? It's turning into a seemingly a sloppy mess at the bottom. It's not. These are just
Happy accident.
the building blocks of my
Greatness.
my technique of watercolor, which some have called great, not many, but it's happened.
Ooh, Gen C said, just back from Maui, said, "I learned not to swim in the murky ocean water after an island storm. It's the shark's house."
Oh, the shark's house. I like that.
I don't know. I'm going to plug a book, an author we really like, Susan Casey.
Yeah.
Casey, I think. She's written a bunch of books about the ocean, one about sharks. She's like the most phenomenal researcher. Phenomenal research. It's like the kind of nonfiction that reads like fiction. You know, when you're trying to go to sleep and you get to the end of a chapter and you're like, okay, I just have to read one more chapter.
Yeah, if you like Laura Hillenbrand, what's her name?
Yeah, Seabiscuit.
Yeah, that. If you like that sort of like nonfiction that reads like fiction, but
her book about sharks was...
she's written a few books about sharks.
She
wrote one about the
one
ocean.
about the ocean. About, I think it's called The Big Wave. She wrote one about sharks, and she wrote one, I think, about dolphins. I really hope she has a new book coming out.
Yeah, The Waves was a good one.
Susan Casey. Nikki Wentworth. Yes, see, she knows. They're just. She's the most exceptional writer. She goes literally deep into her subject matter. So impressed with her brain.
So, What do you think you would do if you were stranded on a desert island? Why is that even a thing? I guess Robinson Crusoe, right? That's kind of the OG stranded on a desert island. Because I was thinking, is the whole desert island trope a thing from World War II?
No, I mean,
Because
I think,
people were in the Pacific and
No, I think there were people getting stranded on desert islands.
you think it's happening all the time?
During like the age of discovery. You know, the Spaniards with their, what do you call them?
Conquistadors?
No, what's the name of their boats? They were always wrecking, and I want to say doubloons, but that's the name of the money. I don't know. My brain is not firing on all cylinders. Colonialism, yeah. It was, you know.
Is that what Stranded on a Desert Island is about?
Well, no, but I mean, I do feel like pirates, you know, there was a lot of.
But like Robinson Crusoe is based on on a true story, on a guy who actually did get stranded and was out there for a long time. And so it has, you know, it has some truth to it. And then, speaking of, remember that that Laura Hildebrand book about the guys on
Unbroken.
Unbroken. Oh my God! Do you remember that story of the guy who was shot down? No, was he shot down? Or,
he was
his
a
boat
prisoner of
sank.
war somehow, yeah.
But the whole business was being on the raft. He was on the raft forever, and oh God, that was a great story.
Krista Stewart. You are a goddess. Galleons. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Is that what they went exploring in galleons?
Those things were crashing. They would get hung up on the rocks, and then the whole crew would be stranded on a desert island.
Right,
you know what else we're also really kind of obsessed with? We could talk about Arctic exploration when the ship gets frozen into the ice.
For those of you who are still interested in drawing, I'm now switching to colored pencils just to kind of sharpen this thing up. It's all very wet, so it's a little messy. So I probably should be waiting.
Do you want me to get you a paper towel?
No, it's okay, thank you. But,
Okay, here we have a historian in the comments. The story has been thought to be based on the life of Alexander Selkirk,
Right, I've
a
heard
Scottish castaway who lived for 4 years on a Pacific island called Mas Atiera. Shackleton, yes, he is. We're more than a little obsessed with Shackleton.
but also, there's a book called Alone by Admiral Byrd.
Richard Byrd.
Admiral Byrd. It's
Hard
a
to get
book
a copy of that book, but if you
impossible.
can,
It's
yeah.
impossible. But Admiral Byrd was
Excellent.
the first person.
Antarctica.
First person to reach the South Pole, right?
Yeah, I think maybe he was first. But he lived in a little research hut.
He lived in a research hut by himself because he had become so famous because of his explorations that he had to kind of flee society and live in this hut. And then he started getting carbon monoxide poisoning, and it's a fascinating book.
He made it out alive.
I don't know why they didn't. Why is it so hard to get? That book is so cool.
I know. If we always kind of, if we go to a used bookstore, we go straight to the aisle where Richard Byrd might be found.
Yeah, he never
We have a cool
is.
picture, a framed photo of him with his dog.
It's not just, it's an autograph.
And it's a check, right?
It's a signed check from him, paying his mortgage or something while he was gone.
How did you come to acquire that?
It was a gift.
Cool gift.
I mean, look, checks are always a good gift, even if they have historical value.
John Patton, this guy, we share many common interests, and he's just reminded all of us that Shakespeare's The Tempest has references to an English shipwreck where they took 2 years before they rebuilt the ship to get back home. John Patton, we should hang out. I would like to hang out in real life because we like a lot of the same things.
What about the Tom Hanks movie? Haven't watched it in a long time. Think it would hold up?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's one and done. When you've seen it, You don't need to revisit it.
It's kind of too cute.
I mean, Tom Hanks
has that problem.
Well, can we? I think a young Danny and a young Tom Hanks, one and the same. Back when Danny had hair, very Tom Hanks.
I have hair.
Well,
it's just not on my head anymore.
That's who would play young Danny in the movie.
The exciting movie about a guy drawing a hut. That's what they call it.
Unprofitable?
I think this is, this could be Bob Ross worthy. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
I mean, Bob Ross, I think he haven't given the narration that Bob Ross would do.
Well, because somebody else is talking incessantly.
Because you weren't talking. Isn't that why you brought me on this program?
It's true, so that I have something to listen to while I'm drawing. It's funny how I cannot listen to music when I'm writing. It just is really distracting. But when drawing, it's okay to listen to music, women talking, all kinds of stuff. I mean, do you listen to books on tape ever?
No, I don't.
I know you don't.
I absolutely
loathe
audiobooks. I loathe them. And when people ask me how much do I love your podcast, which everyone raves about, I have to admit I've never listened to it because I can listen to exactly 3 minutes and then I'm asleep. It's like the sound of a voice just puts me directly to sleep.
Of my voice?
Of any voice.
That isn't your own?
I mean, NPR, instantly asleep. Instantly asleep. It's like a narcolepsy problem.
People like that with books too, as we now know.
I mean, I know people that do long road trips listening to audiobooks.
Yeah,
My
most people
car
do.
would be crashed into this side of the road.
JJ and I drove across country, and I was not allowed to listen to an audiobook. For fear of my life.
I wanted to live. I wanted us to get where we were going.
In fact, I wanted to do it so much that I ended up driving across the country with my son just because he and I could listen to an audiobook. And we did. We listened to 2 entire books and it took us to drive from New York to LA.
What books?
Ready Player.
Oh, Ready Player One. Great book.
And I think we also
horrible movie.
And I think The Stand or something like that.
Oh,
some epic
no.
Yeah, I know.
That gives me horrible nightmares still.
Yeah, that's why I chose to go with him.
Well, I'm glad you guys made it.
Thank you.
Twiggy just left the room. Do you think she got sick of us?
Why not?
I mean, what else would be on your desert island? The game is what if you would take, say you have 5 things.
I would take shortwave radio, an inflatable raft,
A case of caviar.
huge case of what do they call it? Not MRIs, ready to eat meals. Would you want to be stranded on a desert island? Let's start there.
I kind of do. I really do want to be stranded on a desert island.
Well, I don't know if you know this about me. You might. But when I graduated from college, I was seriously thinking about moving to Micronesia. And I spent a lot of time reading about it, fantasizing about it, about moving to probably an island called Truk. And that was a major plan of mine.
I knew somebody at the Catholic high school that I went to who moved to Micronesia as a volunteer and lived there for 5 years.
Well, then I read an article that was about the size of insects there. And I just thought that might be a bit much. So I went into advertising instead.
The cockroaches are larger in advertising, I assure you.
But yeah, I might.
Should we talk about the fact that I saw a giant cockroach
no,
in my bathroom the other night,
no.
and I couldn't kill it because it was with its babies. So I let them all live. Big mama, probably 2 inches long, and like 5 little babies. I was like,
So now our house is infested
Yeah.
with
come visit.
cockroaches. I'm not averse to this drawing.
I like it. You definitely got bamboo.
The bamboo in the foreground, you mean?
Yeah. You did a good job with those knuckles. Is that what you would call it?
Jay Shri Boot is asking if that's a watercolor pen. Yes, that's. I guess you came in late, but yes, this is a Winsor & Newton ProMaker watercolor pen. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe put Twiggy in there?
No.
She's sort of sand colored. She'd blend right in. She's camouflaged.
Getting a little bit more foreground texture.
I mean, Gilligan's Island was quite a fun fantasy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What a silly old show.
All filmed in Los Angeles. Except for the
Carrie Palmer would like to be stranded at a resort on an island.
That's true.
I'll go with you, Carrie. Let's do it.
Stranded
Let's
in
make it
Hawaii.
happen.
Hawaii is where they filmed the original Gilligan's Island pilot, apparently. Gilligan's Island was a weird idea for a show, wasn't it? For a TV show?
It's also immensely weird casting.
Yeah. Weird characters. I'd like to see a merger of that and Naked and Afraid.
Maybe you should put a rainbow in here.
This is watercolor. It would be very difficult to do.
It was the challenge. It's the challenge.
I really try to avoid challenges. There are parts of this that I like. I think actually I like the palm tree the best.
It was the boldest move.
Yeah, I just didn't get too fussy with it. So, yeah, all right, it's a thing.
I'm still kind of bothered by the fact that your sky is the exact same shade as your ocean.
You are?
Yeah, it kind of feels wrong some way.
But it's a nice color. And you can
Aren't-
hardly
aren't
see
they
any.
all?
You can hardly see any part of the ocean. It's so
But that's sort of, I think, the issue I'm having here.
you can barely see the ocean.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I feel like that part is not finished. But now I'm going to prompt you to do something that was against your instinct, and then you'll say that I ruined it.
Never. You are my muse.
Oh, you're going with colored pencil. Interesting. But that's the exact same color.
It just looks like that on TV.
Oh.
In reality, it's a radically different color.
I have trouble distinguishing between blue and green,
Yes,
as you know.
I do. All right. Good enough.
For government work?
Yeah.
Oh, Jen's saying maybe
Yes,
it isn't.
it's a tsunami.
Tsunami.
Look out, get in the hut. Get in the hut. Tsunami's coming.
No, you got to
Hey, Jen,
climb
is
up
this,
that
what, is
bamboo.
this what your house in Hawaii looks like?
Maybe that's what this whole thing is inspired by.
Maybe. So, Jen Cahill, if you...
She said she's got a beach shack.
Yeah, so if this does in fact resemble your shack, let me know and I'll send it to you.
Yes.
You can frame
Our
it.
gift to you.
You can frame it, hang it in the living room. All right, well, that was amusing.
Are you done?
Well, I'm not really done, but this is still wet. And
Do you want me to get you a paper towel?
No. No, because that will I mean, these colors are nice and bright right now. If I hit it with a paper towel, it would...
How about some lettering?
No, not in the mood.
Wow. That's very rare. Usually
Yeah, I didn't design this to have lettering in it.
you'd like to have
I designed it to hang over Jen Cahill's mantelpiece.
of her shack. What about a coconut?
Maybe it's not that kind of a palm tree.
I think the ones on islands
Do
generally
palm trees
are,
all,
aren't they? Well, no, because we have
date palms?
yes. So our neighbor has a palm tree that overhangs our yard and is depositing little dates all over the place. It's making the birds get mental.
I love dates. All right, well, I feel like this is a good tribute to bamboo. And I feel reasonably pleased with it. Yeah, I like going back and forth between, the watercolor and then coming back and hitting it with some pencil and then going back in and softening it up with some watercolor again. It's pretty good. It's fine. I mean, when it's dry, I might write something here, but it would have to be pretty dry for that to work. There you go.
I like it, babe.
Thank you. All right, well, I'm satisfied with my outing. I feel like I
Had a vacation?
I had a vacation.
Now it's back to work. The vacation's over.
That was nice. What do you guys think about working without reference like that? Is it harder?
I'll tell you, we had a lot more viewers and they all dropped off.
Really? Well, if you're no longer watching, I'm disappointed in you. And if you are still here, I love you and admire you and think you're a really good person. Well, yeah.
People like a formula.
People like a formula. They like instruction. But sometimes I don't feel like it. So,
Yeah. Hey, it's your show. You get to do what you want.
Well, kind of. I think one's in different moods, right? There are different moods that one has. And, there are times you just feel like making something from your imagination. But there are times your imagination can get kind of lost. So what you could do in a situation like this is you could go and look for pictures and say, what does bamboo look like? What does a shack look like? A hut? What is that? Like, how do people put it together? Is my memory of it good enough? What is the roof like? You could go and do all that kind of stuff, and it might give you more confidence. Because I think in a lot of times, that's really what we're talking about is, do you feel decisive in what you're doing? Do you feel like you have a vision of what it should be like? And I don't mean a vision meaning a completed photo, painting, picture, but more a direction. And a lot of times if you are just struggling with like, what the hell does a palm tree look like? That loss of confidence can kind of ooze into everything else you're doing. So it's helpful to get some kind of a repository of information that will help to launch you into what you're doing, but it doesn't mean that you have to copy a painting, copy a photo, copy somebody else's drawing. But you can just build on these bits and pieces. To me, they're almost part of your art supply kit if you want. But you can also take liberties with them. And that's really the fun part of it, is to say, you know what, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to bring in a UFO in the background. I'm going to have, a pug running through the scene carrying a coconut. You can do whatever you want to, and that's part of the fun of it as well. And you can also think about, do you want your textures, your lighting, all those kinds of things to have sort of, verisimilitude? Are they based in reality, or are they fanciful? Or are you evoking a mood? Are you creating something in your mind? those are all parts of the experience, parts of the process. Is like a few things I'm looking here at this, like this particular. Whoops, where is it? This. Sorry, what happened to my camera? Oh, I slung it out of the way. This particular part of this bamboo, at least to me, looks like pretty good. Like it actually kind of has a bamboo quality to it that I'm quite pleased with. So there are things that will happen by accident, and then you say, oh, maybe I can build on that particular part of this and that particular part of the idea. So this is kind of a vacation, mental vacation, right?
Breath of fresh.
Breath of fresh.
Maybe we should have pina coladas
Me likey.
tonight. We did actually clean out our freezer yesterday, and I found a Ziploc bag full of, like, I think from Memorial Day 2020, I made pina coladas, and I froze them in ice cube trays and then put them in Ziploc bags. They were at the bottom of the freezer, so let's have them. Let's eat them. Let's see.
The way you describe it makes it seem really,
I
really
mean, good.
They
were actually. That's why we didn't just throw them away.
Awesome. All right. Well, anyway, let's wrap it up so you can go off and enjoy the rest of your day. Keep drawing. Yeah. Sharing
is caring.
We're getting to it. All right. So here's my huge billboard of things that I want to just wrap up with. I want to remind you, of course, about Mario's watercolor portraits this weekend. Not too late to sign up for it. School.tiny.us/Mario, or just go to sketchbookschool.com. So there's that. And then I wanted to remind you that if you would like either the bamboo paper or these Winsor Newton watercolor markers, we want to give them to you. So write to us and send us your U.S. mailing address, info@sketchbookschool.com, and we will pick some people. Hashtag SBS Draw With Me. That's where you should put your shack. Don't forget to tag your shack. Tag your shack. That's another hashtag. Hashtag tag your shack tag. Excuse me, let me start this again. I'm a little giddy this morning. I'm a little giddy from being on the beach all day. If you would like to share your work, and I would love to see your shack, put it up on Facebook.
Love Shack.
Put it up on Facebook, put it up on Instagram, and put hashtag SBS Draw With Me. If you're a member of the schoolyard, of course, put it there. We will find it, we'll track it down, and we will add it to the cavalcade of masterpieces that will open next week's episode of Draw With Me.
Yeah.
The Art for All podcast, the new season has begun. We've just put out the second episode, came out this week with Kosha Kona. Last week was Jack Laws. Next week is going to be a very interesting conversation with Tom Hart, I believe. So each week, another interesting conversation. I hope you're enjoying this new season. I'd love some feedback from you if you are.
But no negative feedback. Save it. No. If it puts you to sleep.
If you don't listen to podcasts, don't listen to this one. But if you prefer to watch podcasts, it's a thing. Did you know that YouTube is actually the biggest distributor of podcasts? So we record the video of us recording the podcast, and we put it on this channel here on YouTube every Monday. And we also release it so you can listen to it while you're drawing. You can watch it while you're not drawing or while you are drawing, however you like it. If you don't like to listen to podcasts, you can watch this one. Danny'sEssays.com. I write an essay every Friday and another one on Tuesdays. You can get the Friday one for free. Just sign up at Danny'sEssays.com. And of course, subscribe to this channel so you'll know when we do this again. Any final parting thoughts, words of interest? JJ?
No.
No. Yes?
No.
Okay. Have a great week.